Know what I say? She can't choke, she don't know what to do.
She's gotta go. Bye. I know that you love this flow.
We just chillin'. We some villains. I love enough. Get the ammo and I stick it up. I grab a shot from the top of the shot. I put the clip and I let it hit. I make it explode. Make it explode. Hit your toes. Hit your nose. Can you touch your toes? Can you touch your toes? Simon telling you what to do. My commando. Hit in the bando. Back in the bando. Not like a Rambo. So low. I'm telling you, I get that money. And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. I am your host, Brian Barnaby, and I am joined in studio by my main man, Mike. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, everybody? Yo, dude, we're missing some people, bro.
Yeah, I think, isn't Grasso joining us via FaceTime?
Uh-oh, bang.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
What's up, dude?
Crystal clear on the audio. Love it.
Is it?
Glad.
It took a little while, but we got it.
And then also we're joined by Gino.
What's up? How's it going?
We're ready to go over here.
We're rowing.
We got a little Wednesday. Still a couple of days till the tournament resumes. We'll get by with some NBA and some off-season NFL and also maybe another Prism pack. So looking forward to that.
Oh, yo, Gino.
Yeah.
Do you know that we pulled in Anthony Edwards for the Downtime TV crew?
No way.
Prism, yeah, bro.
That's so nice. I love it.
And Grasso got another pack for the crew.
Yes,
so
I
when
saw
you
that.
when you come in, you got to bring yours.
Yeah, I'm about to say, now I have to go get my pack.
Did you see Denny Avdia? Yeah.
I did not
14
see
points last night.
He had 14.
Dude, that's big.
We pulled him last night, Gino.
That's awesome.
But
Hold on. I'm
Renee.
looking up this.
What's going on, Renee?
Prism stuff. All right, Anthony Edwards is worth like $40 right now.
Do
Do you know what card? Do you know what card it is though? We have a specific card.
Yeah, it's that one. Yeah, it's that one.
Oh, it's in the case.
Good.
Tony. Look at this handheld shot right here, folks. What's going on?
Look at that, Tony. Hey.
Look at that. It's like we're. What are those shows? Remember those shows where they had the handheld cameras? Never mind. Let's get back to sports.
So, like we were saying yesterday, we had a light schedule, a couple interesting games, and as we mostly do every game for them, we'll recap the Knicks with a big win last night, 131-113, and I was really impressed here because going into the game, I was thinking, boy, I don't know if they could keep up, with the Wizards. They've been scoring a lot of points, but really the Wizards couldn't keep up with them on offense. Outscoring them by 18. I was impressed. And Julius Randle once again. 37 points, 6 rebounds, 7 and 10 from deep. He's really been going off. And a big part, of them winning, I think, was Mitchell Robinson. I was impressed in his second game back from injury, 16 points, 12 rebounds. So that's, always big. And as we always do, we start with Mike on this overall take on the game. You must have been pumped.
I was pumped, but I was actually kind of sad that Julius didn't get his career high.
He was close.
And Knox didn't play, right?
Knox played like 4 minutes, scoreless, like I said.
You have Mystic Bob's over there. But no, I was really pleased. I was wrong. You were right. They blew him out.
Yeah.
It wasn't a chance.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys. I sent Grasso the play, but dude, RJ Barrett is slowly becoming one of the best two-way players in the league. Am I right or wrong? Like Westbrook's a strong guard, and for him to just body him and then block him on that play, on that defensive play is awesome. And then I didn't know Mitch Robinson was coming back tonight or last night.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's a great win, bounce back win, and we got this. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I think he's huge for them. And like you said, I mean, he really bottled up Westbrook. He only had 14 points at 3 of 14 shooting. So, that was impressive to see. Grasso, what were your thoughts on this? Kind of what you expected, or were you surprised they were able to score 131?
Yeah, I was surprised. 131 points is a lot. The Knicks don't really do that. They're known for their defense. So Julius Randle had a huge night. I mean, continues to impress. RJ Barrett was great. But like you said, Barnes, like Mitchell Robinson coming back, I think is going to be huge for this team. I think they really missed him. I think this was his second game back. He played more minutes tonight. He was really well. I mean, the Knicks rolled last night, but yeah, it's the Wizards.
Sorry.
Cut off there. But I got the basic gist of it. Gino, what was your takeaway here? I mean, were you impressed at all with the Knicks here, or is this kind of what they're supposed to do?
My take is Emmanuel quickly killed a man last night. And the Knicks won. There it is. That's all you need to know. But that play was awesome. I mean, Randall was phenomenal, just knocking down shots. But the good thing about the Knicks is that it wasn't just one guy scoring, which they had it spread out amongst. Obviously, Mitch came back, had a double-double. Quickly had 14. Burks had 20. Barrett had 21. Bullock had 10. That's good scoring. That's scoring. That's good against a team that's been playing better than they were at the beginning of the season. They had a bunch of guys in double digits, but holding Westbrook to 14 points, Beal to 22. Another good defensive effort against a team that has some offensive firepower, and another really good offensive effort, which is something I guess we're not as used to seeing from this Knicks team.
Yeah, and I had said, on the show yesterday, they hadn't scored, 120 in over a month. So to score 131, that's impressive. And I think now, Mike, you're gaining a little more respect for Burks after another 20-point game.
It's funny. I was getting nervous that you were really about to be Mystic Barbs over there, and he was about to drop 35. Was it?
I think it was 35. I was saying, but hey, 20 will take it any day of the week.
Oh yeah, no, dude, he's stepping in. He's doing what he's got to do. He looks like he's being a leader out there as well for the young guys, which is always what you want. So, gotta love it. I love what we're doing here. I can't wait to talk later about trades because I know there's a lot of trade rumors, but we'll get into that.
While we're on the Knicks, can we just point out that if you follow any NBA account or any NBA Insider or any Legion Hoops or whatever, the Knicks are linked to literally every single player that's literally been talked about. It's like so and so is available, and the Knicks and so and so are interested. It's crazy. They're literally linked with everybody.
Yeah. I could see, why they want to do their homework, but I just would caution with them. You don't want to do anything too crazy.
I will stab myself in one eye if Victor Oladipo gets traded to the Knicks for young players that I like.
I don't think that's going to happen.
He's rumored to go.
No, I know, but I just think they've been playing smart, and I think they're going to continue to do it. If they can get him on a discount, sure. But
all right, Mystic Barbs.
Let's get Bradley Beal to Miami.
That would be interesting.
That would be scary for people.
I just want
trade deadline, I believe, is tomorrow at 3 Eastern, right? So we're less than 4 hours away. Kind of snuck up on us.
I know.
We have to do a special tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do that. So impressive win for the Knicks, and they get back to 500. So this will be I think a crucial stretch to see if they can now kind of build some momentum and consistently be 3, 4, 5 and on games over 500. We'll see if they're able to do that. The other game that we previewed yesterday was the Suns and the Heat, and once again the Suns take care of business. 110-100. On the offensive end, no one really stood out too much, kind of their usual production. Booker had 23, Ayton with a big game, 17 points, 16 rebounds. But Chris Paul, only 8 points, 9 assists. Does this mean that he's out of the MVP conversation?
No, he's never out of the MVP conversation. Point God.
Hey, Gino, he's my pick.
I love Chris Paul. So it doesn't matter.
No, I'm just kidding, just because of what Barkley said. But impressive. Now this is 7 straight road wins for the Suns too. I mean, it doesn't matter who you're playing. It's always tough to win on the road, and especially a team like Miami that's well coached. Plays defense. So and it wasn't pretty, but they get the job done. So I think that's all you can ask for. Out of them. And on the other side of things, 4 straight losses for the Heat now. Now they sit at 500, and we were just talking about Beal. I mean, I think that would be a huge, bolt of energy for them if they were able to acquire him. But we'll see if they're going to be able to do that.
Even Kyle Lowry.
What was your take on this, Grasso? Kind of what you expected here?
Well, not really. I mean, the Suns take care of business. Like you said, no one really stood out for them. DeAndre Ayton had a really good game down low. But I think last night really highlighted Miami's lack of scoring and their go-to guy. Like Jimmy Butler can do it. If he's not attacking and giving you 25, 30 every night, then you're kind of struggling if you're the Heat.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. On that front, and Nunn did have 25 points. We've talked about him a little bit. I was impressed to see that. Gino, what did you think about this?
I mean, I turned my mic off, idiot. The Suns beating a good team that's on kind of a roll here. The Heat. I think it's again another good performance from them. They're even when Chris Paul is off, he's still dishing the ball out, getting 9 assists, like you said. So I mean, this Suns team's good. The Heat. The Heat are proving to be better as well, which I think they're starting to be more like we expected, but they only really got production from 3 players last night: Kendrick Nunn, Bam Adebayo, and Jimmy Butler. So probably going to need a little bit more from some more of the role players. But I mean, this Suns team's really good. That's what I take away. I mean, they're very good. They've beaten a lot of really good teams on the East side and the West side. So hopefully, I mean, I love Chris Paul, so I'm rooting for the Suns when I'm not rooting for the Mavericks, and hopefully they continue to, move in this trajectory. But for the Heat, I mean, I don't think it's too much to worry about if you're a Heat fan, and if losing this game is not like the end of the world. So.
Yeah, no, and I think they're, now that they've lost 4 in a row, though, I mean, this is kind of where, you want to position yourself and, over the next 10 games, I mean, at least go 6-4, 7-3. I think that would be big, just for their positioning. And, obviously we'll see if they do anything trade-wise. And tomorrow they're actually playing the Blazers. So, that it's always a tough one with Dame, and now McCollum's back. So I think that'll be a good game to watch as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then, on to tonight, we got a couple interesting matchups. We'll start with the Clippers visiting the San Antonio Spurs. And, the Clippers, we documented their struggles this year, but they have won 3 out of their last 4. They lost to the Spurs back on January 5th, 116-113. And so obviously that was a while ago, so I don't know how much you can really take away there. And then tonight it looks like Ibaka and Patrick Beverley will be out, so they'll be a little short-handed. And as we've said, I mean, I think once again the key here is what's Paul George going to do? We saw him drop 8 points in 33 minutes, so is he going to be big? And I think Popovich will have a defense set up designed to stop him, and as well as Kawhi, I'm sure. After what happened with him in San Antonio, there's nothing more that Popovich would like to beat him. So I think this will be, an entertaining game. Grasso, what do you see in this matchup?
Grasso is not.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll go to Gino. What do you think, Gino?
I'll pick up. This matchup is an interesting one because the Spurs are the Spurs. They've always been the Spurs. They've basically been the same team for the last 10 years, minus obviously the difference in players, or probably more than 10 years. Whereas the Clippers kind of like very shaky. Like the Spurs, you look at, they're a solid team. The Clippers, you don't know what you're getting out of them like week in and week out. And that's why I think it makes this game very hard to pick, because on paper, I think that the Clippers are better than the Spurs. But you don't know what you're getting out of Paul George and Kawhi game in and game out. There's games where Kawhi and Paul George have had 30 points combined. And that's just not enough for this Clippers team to win games when you're not getting production elsewhere. So if that Clippers team shows up, I would expect the Spurs to win. But if the Kawhi or the Paul George that shows up, that's the Kawhi Paul George that we know from the past, then I can see this being a close game, but the Clippers pulling it out.
Yeah, no, I think, there's a lot of uncertainty, which version of each team is going to show up. And I think the key for the Spurs, I think, we know they're going to play pretty good defense. I think it's a matter of, can they score enough? I mean, DeRozan every night is scoring at least 20, but some of the other guys, Keldon Johnson's had some great games, but also he's had some games where he's under 10 points. Same thing with Mills and Walker. So I think that's the whole thing. I mean, their last 10 games, they're only averaging 106.9 points per game, while the Clippers are averaging 113.5. So it'll be interesting to see if, they can make up this gap. And, the Spurs have struggled, despite being over 500 this year. They're 12-14 against the West. So, being over 500, that has to do with, taking care of business in the East. So this would, of course, be a big win if they could get one tonight. So I know you were kind of saying, depending on which team shows up, but in the end, who do you lean here?
I'm going to go with the Clippers just because, the Clippers have more talent. So, if the Clippers show up and they prove to be who they should be all year, then I would go with the Clippers. But again, it's tough because I don't know. I feel like it's a bit of a toss.
Yeah, no, I'm right with you.
Clippers.
You got the Clips, Mike?
Dominating.
Really?
Kawhi, 40 points. Breakthrough game for him.
How many for our buddy Paul George?
10.
10?
Double digits.
I mean, he had 8 last game. I guess.
No, I'm giving him double digits, bud.
What do you think the problem is with Paul George? If you guys had to guess, what is going on with him?
Mental.
It's all mental?
Yeah.
Barnes needs to teach him how to shoot.
I mean, don't you think so, Mike, or you have a different take on this?
I just think he's got a case of the yips.
Which,
mental.
I guess you can say is mental.
Right. But I like to call it the yips. It sounds better. I mean, he's not mental. He just got the yips.
But I wonder.
He's in his head.
After last year's flop, in the playoffs, and then the up and down performance this year, is there some animosity between George and Leonard too?
I don't know. I feel like there would be more animosity between Clippers players and those two than between those two. Because those two, they got treated like royalty over there, and nothing happened. I would bet that. Listen. I mean, Paul George is going to LA on his first big contract and his first. He has to prove it here. He was the guy in Indiana. He was always the guy. There wasn't much pressure there. There wasn't much pressure in OKC. But now that he's on the Clippers and he's on a team that's a serious contender for an NBA championship. He has to perform, and maybe that's the issue. Maybe he's feeling the pressure a little bit.
Yeah, no, that he can't live up to it.
Yippity yips.
In this game tonight, I think this is going to be a close one. I think it's going to come right down to the wire, but I think the Spurs defense is going to come up big, and I think they're going to win. Maybe even with a shot at the end with less than 10 seconds left. But I'm going to say the Spurs in a close one, and I think Popovich, he'll bottle up Kawhi. He'll probably only have 20, and then I think one of these 5 for 20 performances out of Paul George, and I'm going to say he has. I guess I'll give him 7 points. But actually, that would be
only 7.
20. So
Wow.
I actually meant 12 points. So which is, actually giving him a couple more than you, Mike.
I mean, he's going to appreciate that from you, and he's not going to appreciate it from me because.
But we'll see what happens. And then another game tonight, which is a great matchup, but would be even better if Kyrie wasn't out
for his birthday,
so he can hang for his birthday. And then we know Durant, he's getting close, but still out with that calf injury. And I believe Harden is questionable. He gave it a go last night. Didn't have one of his best games, but of course they won. So I have a feeling he'll be out there again. And going up against this Utah Jazz team that right now still in first in the Western Conference. We saw them have some struggles, but they're still, they're 20 games over 500, no matter how you want to dice it. And they have a 16-game home winning streak here. So a lot on the line for them. And a guy that we've ripped on a lot, Rudy Gobert, the $200 million man, his last 10, he's averaging 16 and almost 14 rebounds on 66% shooting. So anytime you can get, that production out of him.
I knew that was coming.
With Donovan Mitchell, his last 3 games, he's dropped 30, 31, 42. So he's been balling. So I think this is going to be a fun game. What do you think, Gino?
No one. Go ahead.
Mike will never agree on this. But listen, Nets coming off of a back-to-back without 2 of their best players and possibly the third best player. There should be no reason that the Jazz don't win this game.
Okay.
No.
On a 16-game home winning streak.
Yeah, but that doesn't even play a factor. They have the 2. Well, probably they have at least Mitchell, who's the best player on the court. If the top 3 don't play,
Yeah.
You think that the bench reserves for the Nets can beat this Jazz team?
Uncle Jeff.
You're gonna tell me Jeff Green is gonna carry this Nets team?
No. But if James Harden's playing, I'm gonna book a win. If he's not, I'm booking a definite loss.
Without him playing, they should.
Yeah.
They shouldn't even play.
But
it should be a rest.
I still have just been. I don't understand it. Especially because Harden didn't even have that great of a game last night. Why are they able to just win no matter who's in the lineup? As long as they have one of those guys, and it seems like they win, and it's just the other guys.
Because those guys are superstars, Barnes. You know what it's like. You're a pickup superstar. I've never I knew it. Matt told me. Robert Horry, clutch shooter, rebounder. Then I see it. It happens. You're not even Robert Horry. You're more like Chris Bosh in Toronto.
But he wasn't shooting in Toronto.
Yeah, well, you're a combo. All right, Miami and Toronto, Bosh.
But honestly, though, you really weren't surprised that they were able to beat Portland last night with McCollum back now, and obviously Lillard.
He's not back.
But you'd look at the roster and you'd say without Kyrie and Durant that their roster is probably better. But
but Harden's that elite.
Yeah. Also, how good is Portland defensively?
Yeah.
Harden probably should have probably had a few more points. If you have one superstar playing again, like the Mavericks without KP, having Luka held their own against the Trailblazers, who had McCollum and I think Nurkic at that point or something like that. But I don't know. I think that like Mike said, that they're such superstars, and Harden has proved to be himself a facilitator for the rest of the team. So
wouldn't you want to play with him?
What'd you say?
Wouldn't you want to play with him?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm very surprised with James Harden because I thought he was Houston, but I think that we're just starting to realize that he had to be that just to be that team to be good.
Yeah, dude, they had nobody.
I've been impressed by it as well, and I guess I was just using last night as an example, but it's just crazy though. It's like every time though, it just seems like when they've won every game when 2 of those guys were out. It's like it seems like they never lose no matter what the situation is. That's what I can't believe, honestly. With all the shuffling in and out of the lineup. That's just tough to do when you don't have a consistent starting.
Absolutely. We're seeing it with the Lakers, right? Barnes, you're a Lakers fan. You've seen how they, even just with LeBron or just with AD, they're a completely different team. So It is a surprise that the Nets are able to do it so fluently and so easily with each and every game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And on the Jazz side of things, like I said, they are still in first, but it's a tight race up top. The top 4 teams are separated by 4 games. So, it seems like they have all the pieces. They're not going to do anything crazy. So it doesn't even seem like it's a matter of, them going out and really adding somebody. Because who are you going to give up? And the team's played so well this year. So it's just kind of going to be interesting to see down the stretch, where they finish. Can they keep up this pace? I think the Suns are going to overtake them for that top spot.
Yeah. I think so too.
I think so too. I want to tell you my lock of the year.
Go ahead.
Is it for this year?
Chris Paul will be this year's MVP. Why is it so funny?
I hate you.
Lock it up.
What do you mean? Why is it so funny? He is. You can argue that he's the most valuable player, but he will not win the award.
Who's going to win?
It won't be LeBron. It may be Giannis. It may be Harden.
No,
but you don't think there's a case to be made that it should be LeBron? Let's say they lose 12 straight games and then he comes back and.
But then at that point, you'd be giving it to LeBron and Giannis because they're the best player, not because they're the most valuable player to their team.
But I just think this conversation.
Why is it so crazy?
Just shows the problem with this award. There's not.
There's
no solid formula.
You guys are sounding crazy. He took this team. They're not even in the bubble.
No, I agree, but don't you think that he should have won MVP last year too?
No,
with that because that OKC team sucks.
Yeah,
but that doesn't matter. They're not first seed.
Yeah,
but he beat them for probably being a 15 team.
Everybody thinks the Suns were good because they won 8 straight games in the bubble. They were dookie. They weren't good last year. They were bottom of the barrel.
You would argue that they have more talent this year than they did last year. They had more talent this year than OKC did last year.
Yeah, well, Chris Paul's at lead. He's a point guard. Chris Paul is a point guard.
No, I know he is. I love Chris Paul. I'm not arguing with you about that.
The only difference is Devin Booker and maybe Ayton, but didn't they have Adams? Look at this guy.
Yo, come on, dude. That's just one of those things that you're just stretching it. Come on.
I just think he should win MVP.
No, I like I said, I think they need to do something differently with the award. And I think we could have a whole show on just what's wrong with the MVP award, because we could go back year by year, and it's not just LeBron, of course.
Oh, my God, times. Dude. But get off his back.
There's just so many cases.
He's hurting.
But there's so many cases where guys deserve to win it, and they've won it too much. We don't want to give it. That shouldn't be part of the award.
I know. Well, it sucks, but
yeah.
And then there's certain players that should be in the MLB Hall of Fame. So
yeah,
Pete
Rose, Barry Bonds, But anyway, back to the game. Who do you guys got? And we're gonna say Harden's gonna play.
We're gonna say Harden's gonna play. Okay. Harden's gonna play. Okay. I guess I'll take the Nets. Harden's gonna play. But I think it's a very close game because they're on a back-to-back, and if Harden's hurting, he's not going to be as effective as he was on the back end of a back-to-back, or as he normally is. I guess.
Who you got, Mike?
50 beans by Harden for the win.
Wow. I am going to go with the
He's got to have one game where he just goes off for points this season to get that.
I don't know. I just feel like on the back end of a back-to-back, that's going to be hard.
And I'm going to say here.
Grasso's going Utah, by the way.
Yeah, I'm with you, Grasso. And I say Mitchell is going to have 48 and Gobert will have a triple single.
Oh, that's good.
And they're going to win by 25.
Oh, I got to make predictions now.
Yep.
25?
25.
Mystic Gino.
Mystic Gino here. Gobert's going to grab 20 rebounds.
Okay.
He's going to have 4 blocks. And Mitchell will drop 32. That's my predictions. And then Harden will. Harden plays. He'll drop 30 as well.
From Max Kellerman.
No, if Harden plays off a triple-double, a 30-point triple-double.
Not out of reach for what we've seen this year. So
Yeah.
looking forward to watching this one. And can't wait to see it. So also, we mentioned, we got the trading deadline tomorrow. There have been some rumors today. One thing that came out, they were talking about the Raptors shopping, Kyle Lowry and Norman Powell. And a team like the Raptors, the wheels seem like they've come off. So I think trade these guys. I mean, get anything you can for him. Lowry, I think they've gotten all they can from him. I know he's, a leader on the team and stuff, but I just think when you could get some value, before he completely falls off, I think that'd be a good idea. And we talked about this before, but I think he'd be a great fit for the Miami Heat.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at the Eastern Conference standings, and I didn't realize the Hawks were in fourth place.
After that,
I'm a little shocked at that. But the Heat could definitely use him. I mean, there was talk about him going to the 76ers, obviously a Philly guy, so maybe that's a spot, but I don't know how that deal gets done. But I think you're right with the whole Raptors situation. Wheels have kind of fallen off. They're 4 back of that 8 seed where the Celtics sit. They just haven't looked great. So I think it's like you said, it's good to get those guys out of here now when they have value.
Yeah, and I think any team would want to have Norman Powell. He's nothing unspectacular, but I think he's a solid.
He's an NBA champion, Barnes.
NBA champion, exactly. Any prediction on Lowry, Mike? Or?
I have a huge prediction. It's actually not huge at all, but I have a feeling he's going home to Philly. Shout out Grosso, and I think that will put Philly over the top.
How does it get done?
How does it get done? You're gonna watch magic happen.
No, I know, but like, who are you trading if you're the Sixers? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, how does that deal get done?
Wants Ben Simmons out, so I'm joking. They wouldn't do that. But if Grosso was the GM, Ben Simmons would have been gone his rookie year.
They could trade Seth Curry, Kormans, a future 27 first rounder.
I know, but are you getting like how important? I mean, I don't know. Grosso obviously would know better, so it's a shame he's not on, as he says, bring Kyle home. But like, is trading Seth Curry worth Kyle Lowry? Like, is Seth Curry been? Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if it gets done just because I don't know if Kyle Lowry makes them better based on the pieces that they have or would have to trade.
Yeah, I think if maybe, but maybe his value goes down or it's not as much as they think. Maybe they can get something done. We'll see what happens there. And then Aaron Gordon has requested a trade from the Magic. That's an interesting one. He's younger player, and I think the problem is because I know he makes a decent amount of money. I don't know where he fits, but I think a lot of teams.
People are saying Celtics.
Celtics with that trade exception. That makes sense, actually.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. It gives them kind of like a big guy there too.
Gordon.
I guess he's a power forward, right? I mean, he could play this. He's definitely a natural power forward.
Yeah. I would put him at the 4.
I always liked him, but I hope a new change of scenery will be just what he needs because he's been really horrible.
I mean, how many? What have you watched of Aaron Gordon? Other than the dunk contest, in Orlando, you don't really watch him. So it's it's a shame because he is a good player. Yeah,
he is. But the thing is if you're elite, like even when T-Mac was alone, throwback, and I'll even use Orlando. Even when T-Mac was around, he was doing what he had. They got to the playoffs. Yeah,
absolutely.
In Eastern Conference, I'd say he was similar, but different eras, but similar. Like, not that great, but
no, it's
I don't know. He hasn't really done much, but I do think if he had a new home, he'd be motivated. He seems like one of those soft. Players.
If he goes to the Celtics, he doesn't have to be the guy, Whereas on the Magic, who's really helping him? Markelle Fultz.
The problem is they have guard issues over there. So who's doing the pick and roll with him? You know what I mean? And Milan. We're trying to make him into another Blake, right? Like so.
Yeah.
But I think they just need to switch it up. So I say just go for it. And
definitely.
He's only 25.
Yeah.
And he has 1 year left on his deal, $16.4 million.
He's not injury prone.
And if you look at his numbers, he hasn't had any like crazy years, but maybe he just needs to get out of Orlando.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Orlando is boring. Besides Disney World and Universal Studios, I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's literally that's it.
And I had to say, no, sorry, Gino, go ahead.
Yeah, that's right.
No.
Gino.
I was gonna say, yeah, I just think that he's not. What'd you say, Mike?
You were frozen, so you look constipated.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say that, like, I just don't think he's talented enough to be the guy anywhere, and I think just some help would help him. So.
Yeah, and I've been impressed, though. I was just looking at his numbers. I mean, 24 games this year, but he's shooting almost 40% from three.
You know where he would be good? Miami.
Yeah, I could see that. So I think.
But what about these Lonzo Ball trade rumors?
I don't think anything's getting done. I don't think there's enough time. The value that they want, and I think they still want to keep him too. I don't think like they're really ready to just move on from him. And it's just tough when you got a deadline tomorrow. You want a big package. You don't want to just rush into something that you're not 100% satisfied with.
Yeah, no, I think that I think with the Lonzo thing, like, I don't know why, if you're the Pelicans, I don't know, like, he kind of fits really well in there. So like I kind of like I've liked watching him on the Pelicans with that team. So I would agree that I'm not sure that they're really trying to get something done, but if a deal comes across the table before 3 p.m. tomorrow, then I could see it happening, but it's going to have to be, I would think it would have to be a haul, and I don't know who's willing to give that up for Lonzo right now.
Well, Lonzo isn't happy there, to be honest, like fully. He's not playing his game. He's a 3-and-D player right now under Stan Van Gundy, as opposed to
who wouldn't want to play for Stan Van Gundy? I mean, his voice isn't annoying or anything, right?
No, not at all, man. I just don't think he's outdated at all. But
I'm just glad he's not in the broadcast booth.
Oh my goodness gracious.
But we'll see if they make a move there. And then also they're saying John Collins, the Hawks have a 60-40% chance of keeping him, according to NBC Sports Edge. And that's a guy we've talked a lot about before. And he can help a bunch of teams too. But it's just, going into restricted free agency next year, are they going to really be able to get a big package for him? It's kind of a tough guy to move.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough guy to move. That's another guy that was linked with the Celtics. I know there was a lot of talk about a week ago about the Celtics possibly wanting to trade for him, which would be an interesting one. I don't really know how he fits there because obviously with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, I feel like he kind of fits in that. I mean, maybe he can play he can't play the 4, right? Is he a 4?
Yeah.
So
no, he can play the 4.
So maybe they put him there, but yeah, it's an interesting one. They've been talking about shopping him since January, it feels like. So since the whole thing with Trae Young. So I don't know where he would go. I mean, I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you who the Hawks would trade with that would give them what the Hawks want, So, because he's a good player. He's an important player for this Hawks team who's in 4th place. So, I feel like that would be a hard deal to get done for anybody who wants him on their team. So we'll see.
Yeah. No, and it's just with these guys, with the higher salaries, it's just a lot of teams are over the cap, so it's just hard to match up, and that's why we've seen Andre Drummond, not being able to be traded, or LaMarcus Aldridge, because the salaries don't match up with the value. But I think we'll still see, a lot of moves tomorrow. And then, just some quick NFL notes here. Bunch of guys, re-signing. Hilton back to the Colts, 1 year, $10 million. Sue back to the Bucks, 1 year, $10 million. How are the Bucks able to do this with the cap?
The answer is Tom Brady being a very unselfish player and caring more about winning than caring about how much money he makes at this point in his career. That's literally the answer. He did the whole thing, the contract restructuring thing. He did it in New England. And I guess that's how they're doing it. I mean, even with the lower salary cap, you thought maybe some of these guys they wouldn't be able to keep, but it looks like they're on their way to keeping them. I mean, Antonio Brown's not going to get enough money from anywhere else to keep him away from Tampa. Plus, Tom Brady loves him, so he'll do whatever it takes to keep him there. And if you lose Leonard Fournette, I guess you lose Leonard Fournette, but I mean, they'll find somebody else.
I'm interested to see what happens with Antonio Brown. I mean, like you said, Brady loves throwing to him. I did hear some rumors about, the Seahawks being interested in him, and maybe, that would appease Russell Wilson. But like you said, I don't think because of his, his character, the big money's not going to be there from anyone. So if it comes down to that, I mean, he's going to go where he just won his first Super Bowl, and he's going to want to run it back.
Yeah, exactly. That's like exactly what I was thinking. It's just hard to see him getting big money anywhere. Nobody's going to take a risk on him, especially after he really didn't play that much this year. He played like half the season, I feel like. So obviously he had a good half a season, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to see him getting big money anywhere, which makes it more of a possibility that he stays with the Bucs.
And we have a somewhat breaking news here for the New York Jets. And I don't mean to hype this up with something, but they have signed running back Tevin Coleman to a 1-year deal worth up to $2 million.
Wow.
So they go bargain again.
That's not a bad deal, though, I don't think. I think Tevin Coleman's proven that he has the talent to be a good running back. I think the problem they're going to face is like some injury stuff because I'm pretty sure he's gone through some injury stuff in his career. So that might be the issue. But 1 year, $2 million, it's a very low risk, very high reward type thing.
Yeah. And I think it's one of these things where I'm sure they're going to draft a running back. And then they have some young guys from last year that they, took a look at. LaMichael Perrine, Ty Johnson, Josh Adams. So I'm sure one of those guys will play a decent role with them. And then, because this is the NFL now, it's not one lead guy. So I think he can be a big piece for them, in their running back rotation. And, like I said, I think they'll draft a pretty good running back in the draft. Yeah. So, I just can't wait for the NFL draft, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It'll be interesting. I think there's a lot of like teams that could get very already have gotten significantly better. That could improve their teams in certain areas, especially teams that need wide receivers. It's gonna be a really deep wide receiver draft. So after the top three, I think it's pretty up in the air where those other wide receivers go, but. Those are still talented wide receivers. So we'll see. It'll be an interesting draft.
And obviously it's all relative and, there's bargains everywhere. But to me, it seems like the positions that stand out as far as where you can get a guy in the middle rounds and they hit a lot is running back and wide receiver. I feel like we see it every year. And it's just like, I don't know why some teams don't value those mid-round picks, and they're so important. They make a difference in a team, really taking a next step.
Yeah, I mean, there's a stat out there that I think there's more guys from rounds 4 through 7 still in the NFL than rounds 1 through 3. I think that's like or 4 through 7 and undrafted, but I think that's where the real value is. Obviously we've seen it with Tom Brady, even at quarterback. Even just not first round talent. Derrick Henry was a second round pick for the Titans. A lot of these wide receivers, have been second round picks, third round picks. DK Metcalf was not a first round pick, I don't think. So there's talent out there, and I think the best teams are able to find that talent in rounds 3 through 7 rather than rounds 1 and 2.
And it's funny too. You think about it. Quarterback, I could be wrong here. I'm just trying to think for a sec. The last number 1 overall pick, if you think about, he was drafted, I think in 98. Was Peyton Manning? Was he the last number 1 pick to win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think a number 1 pick has won the Super Bowl since then. And it's crazy, but it just shows you
not many.
It's crazy. It's crazy. There's, Drew Brees, Tom Brady obviously has won so many Super Bowls. Crazy.
Yeah. It just seems like every year, you look back at drafts from a couple of years ago and a lot of the quarterbacks aren't on the same team. Some of them are out of the league. So very, very vulnerable, thing in the first round with these hit rate on these picks, but looking forward to that next month. And as we have been doing for the past week or so, we're on to our favorite segment here, the Prism Pack Reveal.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, guys.
After yesterday's
Here
clunker,
we go.
what do we got?
Technically not, because he had 14 points and he probably hasn't played since we pulled him. It's another Prism Pack reveal, folks. It's time. Here we go.
Starting.
All right. From Dayton, #1, your New York Knick, Obi Toppin.
Big pull.
Oh yeah, that's a beaut for the downtime crew. Look at this gem.
That's how you start a pack.
That's how you start a pack after yesterday. Wow. Hold on, let me turn Mike down so that Gino could be a little louder. All right, we're going for the next one. We got Obi. Next, from your Duke Blue Devils, I don't know, Trey Jones. Barnes doesn't like that one.
I mean,
Gino does.
he's got a shot.
Gino does. All right, we're going to put that one down.
It's not the best.
All right, guys. For our next... Barnesy boy. We done it. Pull out the red panties. We've done it. We got a McGregor fight. Pull out the red panties. We've done it. We've got for your Kentucky Wildcats. I think. Yeah. For your Kentucky Wildcats, your first overall pick, James Wiseman.
You mean
He was the number 2 overall pick.
Whatever.
He was the number 2 overall pick.
Doesn't matter.
And he was from, he went to Memphis.
Great card, great pack.
Wait, we got one more, baby.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Already, it's a great pack. It doesn't even matter what the last.
You're right. Because it's number 12 from Mississippi State, Robert Woodward II.
Robert the second, future NBA All-Star.
So yeah, those are the picks, guys. That was a great pack, Barnesy. What do you think, bro?
Now, my question to you actually is: does the combination of Obi and Wiseman beat pulling in Anthony Edwards or no? Just based on value.
We've got mad comments in here. We've got let's go. Haha, I love this. Obi. That's right, Maddie. Let's go. That's a banger. Jesus. Ha ha ha. Breaks? Question mark. Nice. What a fucking pack. Yes, it was, dude. What do you think, Gino?
Well, James Wiseman went to Memphis, not Kentucky. So
It's all right. We can forgive myself.
I think he was in his top
think it's a
5.
better- I think it's a better pull than just Anthony Edwards. I think we're getting more value out of this.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think Obi can be a star and Wiseman can be a star.
Absolutely.
2 for 1.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can find any Mike, are you talking? I don't know. I thought you were talking.
I was just being one of those people that's like, while you talk.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, look at this. There is actually, if we go, so listen to this. There is actually, I'm on eBay right now. If we go and get that PS8, right? Get it PSA 10. We just pulled it, so it should be a PSA 10. Can I see what the card looks like? The Wiseman.
Wiseman, gotcha.
I don't know. I don't know if this is the same card or if this has anything this is anywhere near what people are selling it for. But it looks like some of these Panini Prism 10 PSAs are going for a decent amount of money.
When can you tell the folks the price?
Well, there's some of them up here for like a shit ton of money, like $465, but that's not. I don't think that's the lowest you're going to sell it for. But I think we're looking around the same for Wiseman as it was for Anthony Edwards, around 40 to 50 right now. 40, $50, but that'll go up. I mean, you have a rookie card, so rookie cards are the best cards to have. So that'll go up if Wiseman and Edwards keep performing and get better and get in the All-Star game. Maybe Edwards or Wiseman, one of them wins, an MVP or a 6-man sometime or something like that. That'll help it go up. So this could be a very profitable pack for the Downtime crew.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a great pull, and really always enjoy this segment to close out the show. It's always something to look forward to.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. On that note, that will do it for today. Gino, thank you for joining us, and everyone, as always, thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow.